Today I want to introduce you to these guys. Little turkey chicks. But before that, I need to show you. It's only gone and bloody rained. Didn't know, we are officially in drought. And though the 2 days of rain isn't going to stop that, we haven't had rain for 6 months. So some decent rain that has wetted the soil and helped my plants is such a relief. It means that though it's September, the season may not be over. Look at this wet soil. I did not do this, the sky did. Makes me so happy. And I'm still planting. So here we've got a couple of lettuce rows and some zinnias. I actually decided to end up planting everything in the same space to save on time and efficiency when it came to watering. It was such a bind trying to keep everything watered that actually just made sense to do autumn crops all in the same place, so I didn't have to water everything. The zinnias may still flower, the lettuces will definitely still come, and hopefully the rest of the flowers that have been here for a while and the veg will now spring up before we get those frosts, hopefully not until November. This year has really just been so mentally draining with the drought and the water situation. It's amazing how just a little bit of rain just makes you, just feel so much better. I just feel so much better. You know, I know it's the end of the season. I know there's really not a lot of growing time to do, because even if the frosts hold off, the temperatures still go down, and the length of light in the days obviously also decreases. So we are waning, we are going into winter, but just is joyous to have some rain, to feel some moisture in the air, and to know that actually plants can start to grow again. I've currently got my seed set up down here by the cabin because up near the polytunnel was just too baking hot. And I love this time of year because it's a little bit cooler, but the soil is still warm, and with a bit of moisture, things grow really quickly. And so some small flower seeds that I've put in for next year, I think this is Hesperus, are already starting to come through. The seedlings that I'm potting up for the autumn and the winter, these lettuces, there's a couple of chard and then a lot of kale, they're all coming through really well as well. And actually, even these cornflowers are starting to try and produce little buds. When it comes to germinating echinacea and rudbeckia, I'm terrible. So I was passing a garden centre the other day and they actually had a closing sale on. So I picked up a rudbeckia goldstrum and then these lovely echinaceas. And of course, I'm really short on flowers at the moment for the weekend market coming. So of course, I got an echinacea with a flower on and I can chop that up and use it in a bouquet. The one thing I must do before it starts raining and fills the ponds up is retrieve this bucket that blew in last year and I haven't been able to get back out. Although the winter season is not the growing season, it does mean that I can start doing a lot of the rewilding work. Winter, of course, is the perfect time to do fencing and to do the pond restoration. I've obviously still got vast amounts to cut back around this pond, and actually while it's dry it will be a very good time to clear a lot of this debris out before the water comes in. For those of you that have followed the channel for a while, you know that this is a big 37-acre rewilding project along with growing all the veg. So winter is the opportunity to cut trees, clear brush, put in fencing, and basically get everything ready for wildlife the next year. And obviously clearing brush and doing fencing sounds like it's not actually in the favour of wildlife, but the perimeter fencing on the property is so that we can let all of our animals out and sort of more naturally graze everything, and clearing the brambles and things is only really around the pond, where we want to open up sides of the pond. So we want to keep all this back thicket dense, but where this is all coming over into the pond and dropping all these deciduous leaves constantly into the water, that's what we want to clear away. So we end up with a more open pond with sunlight, so plants grow, more oxygen in the pond, and becomes a thriving place rather than a stagnant mess. Obviously at the moment it's dry as a bone, so we need a bit of rain first. Dora, what's going on? Have you got your ear tangled? Oh, you silly girl. Wait, no, don't pull, you'll whip it out. Careful, yes, careful. You silly girl. Okay. Oh. If you're enjoying the video, please consider subscribing or buy me a virtual coffee, which you can do from the link below. But now let's go and see about turkeys. So I hadn't actually been planning on hatching any turkey chicks this year. I've got my turkey tractor, which I've got 2 turkeys in. Unfortunately though, I lost the hen. She just went really floppy overnight and was dead by the next morning. So I've just got the stag left, and they are Norfolk Blacks, which are a rare breed from this area, which I wanted. But my friend had a load of bourbon red eggs that he didn't want to just chuck out. So of course I said, yes, I'll hatch them. So these guys hatched 2 days ago. I had 12 eggs, 1 wasn't fertile, 2 got the ring of death, and 9 hatched out. And as you can see, they're bonny little things. Now I don't really know much about rearing turkeys, so if you've got any tips, please let me know in the comments. I've heard they're quite fragile. So I'm expecting to lose some over the coming weeks. And you can see here that I originally said I had 9 and there's only 7 here. And that's because I've got a couple of chicks that just aren't quite right. These 2 chicks took a while to hatch. And when they actually did hatch, they wouldn't dry off properly. And they both also have kind of a weird lump or deformity on their back. They haven't been able to stand up yet, and they've just generally been quite weak. I am going to try and save them. I'm going to keep them warm and make sure they have food and water and see if they get over it. They've only, after all, been out the egg for about a day, but I may well lose them because of this weird deformity. I'm also told they're not very good at looking after themselves, so you need to actually show little turkey chicks how to eat and how to drink, which is why I'm popping their heads into the water, and then I will try later to get them to tackle some food. Obviously they're only 2 days old at the moment, and so they've got lots of yolk still in their bellies. These turkeys, when they're big enough and hardy enough, are going to go outside into one of the poultry tractors. And if you keep any kind of poultry and you want them outside, don't miss this video where I show the poultry tractor.